class today. So first thing, create a EC2 instance of Ubuntu, Linux Ubuntu. Okay, so that is provision. I think it's almost done. We'll just SSH into this instance using the key. Okay, let's SSH, start a new session, SSH. Okay, paste it here. So for Ubuntu alone, the username is going to be Ubuntu. Okay, it's not going to be EC2-user. Okay, so private key, give a private key also, give the private key and click on OK. This is how you will be logged into the EC2 instance. Okay, so first thing, what do we do? Sudo su, normal for just make yourself as a root user. Once this is done, then we will just add update. So instead of yum, it is here apt-get update. Okay, so now some updates have already been there, so we are updating those. Okay, chalo, now it's done. We have a Ubuntu server which is running nothing right now, no application installed, no nothing. Okay, now what we'll do, we are slowly going to install Docker. Okay, how do we install Docker? Go to Docker's website, official guide. Okay, use it from there. So Docker installation, Docker installation on Ubuntu. Okay, so CE is container engine. This is new one. Okay, so go to Ubuntu and then follow the same procedure what is given here. So it says that if there is any old version, just uninstall that first using this command. Let's go and paste this command. So there was no old version installed on this. Okay, so what do we have to do now? So we have to follow 16.04 installation guide. Okay, so first thing, run sudo apt apt-get. We have done it already. Okay, and then it's saying that install apt traffic https in applications, CS certificates, curl, as well as software properties common. These are all packages what you want to install. So I have already created one stuff for it, so let's just do it using that. Okay, so here also you are doing the same thing. You are installing with the simple command all of these things. Okay, let's just paste. So here sudo apt-get install. One is what apt transfer https traffic it said. Other one was CS certificates. Okay, curl and software properties common. Let's give enter and just give y. You have given -y first. Okay, now everything, all of these things have been installed. Okay, all of these things have been installed. If I want to check it once again, it should say me no other, it's already uploaded. Okay, then what's the second thing? Once this is done, it's telling me that to curl this key, there's going to be a key which will be added to your local to this instance, Docker key. Okay, paste it. Okay, when you see OK as a command, that means it has run successfully. Okay, so once we have this key, then you can verify if the key is there or not. In order to verify, you have to give apt key print. Okay, you see, if you see these things as the output, that means it has successfully installed the key. So once the key is there, now is the big part. Big part is that we have to open this. For example, we have to give this command. What is this command? Key sudo. So what this line up to stable, we need to add this to the sources list. You know, whenever we do, let's just first go inside the sources, what a source list is. Okay, go back to this. So cat source list, paste. Okay, so I have gone inside of this source list file. So this source list file mostly contains all the Debian what you can say URLs. When you run apt-get update or yum update, it basically goes to this file and goes for each and every URL here if there is anything new added to these URLs. So these URLs are nothing but the URLs to download or to install your packages. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to add the Docker URL here only. either I will go and put I and then add it here normally, this part Debian up to this and this stable, up to stable, okay. Or if I have to run it auto with the automation script, this one I can just give sudo echo this double forwards this, it's going to automatically add it to the file. So for now I'm just come out of this and run it outside only, okay. If I give enter, now it has been added. So if I again go to this, you will see at the end of it, just go down, you see at the end it has been added, download.docker.com/linux ubuntu. So this is the path where the Docker package is available. Understood what this path is? Where the Docker package is available, that is what this path is. So once we are done with this, we'll see what is the further course of action. So now it says once it is there, run the apt update once again. So what is this going to do now? Because this package is not installed on our local, it's going to get the package from that website and give it to us, okay. So that is why we always, whenever you go here, you always run what is that, update, okay. You always run update. So let's now go back to the installation guide and take this once again. Don't think that why we are doing it once over and over again, because now with that we have added this inside of the sources file. We'll just run the update and now you will see something new happening, okay. So now it is fetching the package, okay. It is specifies some package from the Docker repository, okay. So it is done, okay. Okay, done. So what we have to do after this one, now we have the package, what we will do, install. We will now install the Docker using CE. C is I mean for this package the name is CE. So yes, let's install. It's unpacking. Let us install the Docker. Okay. So once the Docker is installed, now if you want to for some reason specifically mention that I don't want this Docker, I want this version of Docker. Otherwise right now it's going to always get the latest version, okay. So but if you want to tell it, no, I don't want that version, I want some if right now the latest version is 18.03. So if you want 17 wala or 16 wala, you can get that also by specifying the version name. So what we have done is up to this we're done, okay. After that there is one more file known as a Docker Compose, okay. Then this is one more application. Let's install that also. I'll tell you that later what it does, but now we'll just, for now we don't need anything else in order to run Docker. That is enough. What we have installed, this is enough. Now I want to install Docker Compose also. Docker Compose is basically a way to automate the Docker. Like that day you have seen Jenkins, and I told you there is something in the Jenkins file which automates the Jenkins itself. That is what the Docker Compose basically does, okay. So paste that here. Once this is done, after that install. First give the permissions, make them as an executables, okay, and then install Git also. I need to clone something from my repo, I need Git also, okay. So this is these are all the things what you need to do, okay. I think it was already installed here, yes, okay. That's all, nothing else. So if you just put this in your automation script or your bash script, this is going to do everything for you, okay. No need to once I know each time put this. So now if you want to now see if the Docker is installed, so for that the command is Docker, either give only Docker, okay. Then if it says the scale and all, that means Docker is installed. Or if you want to check what version of Docker is installed, give Docker -v, you will see the version of the Docker as well, okay. Version of the Docker. There is something known as Docker Hub also. So let's just go to Docker Hub. So you will, if you have not created an account on Docker Hub, then it will show you the landing page. Then you have to create the account, okay. And then based on that account ID should be unique always, okay. Same way I have created an account known as AIR app, AIR APP, okay. And then inside of it there's one image, Okay, there is one image inside of my app, inside my container. So this is my repository, or you can call it as a registry. Inside of this registry there is an image which I have sort of pushed, okay, from my local. So that is one more thing. And the second thing is that what you have to, some important concept of Docker. One is the image. Image are the read-only templates used to create containers. So in order to create a container, you must have an image. It's not should, you must have an image. Okay, images are composed of layers of other images. Okay, so same thing, if some layer is something you change in that application, only the changed layer will be pushed, other will be already there. For example, I have created a Tomcat. Tomcat is being given by Docker also, an official image. Now when I clone that Tomcat or start the container from the Tomcat, and then I put the user files or something I change in the Tomcat, then I will build it and send it to my repository. It's not going to create two different copies of it. What it will do basically is going to only change, and then change the changed part in that image, and then link it with the old image.
Replace.
Only the changed part replace, because I told you that in the layers, that is what it's going to do. Okay, images are stored in the Docker registry. Now ECS is a Docker registry, Kubernetes Hub is a Docker registry, Docker Hub is a Docker registry. Okay, so now there is something known as containers. What does container do? It's, if an image is a class, then container is an instance of the class. What does that mean? So based on images you create containers. Okay, based on images you create container. You cannot create a container without any image. Containers are lightweight and portable encapsulation of an environment in which you run the application. For example, now I want to replicate, or maybe in traditional way, if I want to install Tomcat again, already it's installed. If I want to install Tomcat again, it's going to take some time. Okay, but here it will be in a matter of seconds. You are able to entirely encapsulate, entirely replicate the one image to other image, and each of those will work independently. There will be no dependency of the previous image. So child image, child, father image, their children, right? All that stuff will go away. We'll show you that how we can do that. So containers are created from images. Inside a container, it has all the binaries and dependencies needed to run the application. For example, Tomcat 8 I'm going to install. Tomcat 8 needs Java 8. Let's say Java 7, Java 8. It's going to take the copy of Java 8 also in that container. Now I want to install Tomcat 5. Tomcat 5 runs on on Java 5. Okay. So what I was talking about is the containers are created from the images. So you need an image in order to create a container. Okay, that is important. So inside a container, it has all the binaries, all the dependencies. For example, I was giving you an example of if Tomcat 7 is there, for that you need Java 7. So it's going to create the entire copy of Java 7 for that container alone. So now that Java 7 is not going to come in between the Java 8 or Java 9. So each and every container will have its own dependencies, or it will have its own binaries. Okay, that is what this basically talks about. So now those images you want to store somewhere, that is known as the registry. Okay, so a registry is where you store the image. Okay, so that's the question they asked you, right? So you can host your own registry, or you can use Docker's public registry called as Docker Hub. So right now we are inside of this hub. If we just go into hub or explore, you will see Docker's own registry. So they have created applications or images of each and every application, whatever is commonly used around the world. Okay, they have created that. You have MariaDB, PHP, SQL, each and everything, Python, Ruby, OpenJDK. JDK is what? Java Development Kit. Okay, so NATS is Network Address Translation for firewalls. Fedora. So each and Amazon Linux also. So Amazon Linux, which you get from Amazon AWS, so they have created an image for that. Now if you want to run Amazon Linux on any system, you can run it. Okay, so Groovy. So point here is that you have got for each and every Gradle. Okay, you have got for each and SonarQube. This is what I basically needed for my application. So if I want to run, I will use Docker for it now. So each and everything is given. These are just applications. For the application, they have created the images. Like this, when you go to sonarcube.com, you will download the image from there. Not the image, you will download the application and then install the application. Now Docker has given you the ability to not only download it, to isolate it if you have 2 or 3 or 4 different SonarQubes running on the same machine. Okay, so that is what the the registries and repositories are for. So you can host your own registry also, or use Docker's Hub. Inside a registry, images are stored in repositories, just like GitHub. So you can store your source code inside a repo. That repo is nothing but a repository. Okay, Docker repository is a collection of different Docker images with the same name that has a different tags. Each tag usually represents a different version of image. So here you can see these things. Okay, 6.7.4, these are known as the tags. This way you can either give the tag just like equivalent to the version of that application, or give anything else, no issues. Okay, so this way you are able to identify. For example, if you have this SonarQube, the name will not change, only the tag will change. Now I want to download SonarQube 7.1 version which works on Alpine. So I will give SonarQube :7.1.-Alpine, this thing. Now if I want to install SonarQube 6.7 version, so I have to give SonarQube : then 6.7.4. So that way I'll be able to. There are 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4 images are already there for this SonarQube. Okay. If I want to, there are a lot of it. Okay, Alpine, IT, ITS, latest, and all. Whatever I want to download, I can just download based on the tags. So tags should be unique. Tags should be unique. Okay. Just keep that in mind. This is how you will basically differentiate between 2 application versions. Okay, so you can basically use official, because this is official repository. You see, this is Docker's official repository. There will be some images which will not be official. For example, if I just want to, because you are familiar with Tomcat, I'll just go to Tomcat and try to see. You see, wherever official is written, official is from the Docker company itself. Otherwise, others are public automated. So mine will also be there. Okay, I have, my name is AirApp Tomcat. Okay, so you will see mine also somewhere. I will see that later. Let's just go into the AirApp. Okay, will be somewhere, but it is there. Okay, then you have to look for, because there's going to be a lot of Tomcat images there, almost 13,562. I don't know why it's not able to pinpoint mine. Okay, that is because I have not given it the version. Latest. Yes. Okay, so first one, this is my image basically, and there is something else related one. Okay, this is what I have created. So you can also use my image. Okay, so now what we have seen is that latest you have to give. Latest is the tag name. Tag name should be given. Okay, I created this 6 days ago. Basically edited it, so that's why it's going to take the last updated one timestamp. Okay, so what we'll do first, let's just run first Docker container, which is known as hello world. Okay, it is very easy for us to run. Let's now start with that, and then we'll see how we can do port mappings and all. Okay, so now that you're in Docker, so there are certain commands which you have to master or which you have to learn. Those commands are here. Attach, build, commit, cp is copy, create, difference, events, exec. Exec is if you want to go inside of that container. Okay, so Docker info displays the system or information. Inspect is very important. Kill is important. Here, login, log out, all of these, push, pull, rename, restart. RM is removing. RMI is remove more images. Remove one or more images. Okay, so RMI is to remove more images. So if you go Docker images, right now we do not have any images. So if I go Docker images RMI, okay, so this is what it's going to do. Remove more images, one or more images simultaneously. Okay, so then there is run, there is save, search, stats, tag. All of these are certain keywords which or commands which you have to master. Okay, so there is container, again image, network. These are some management tools. Swarm, Docker Swarm. There is Docker Swarm, there is Kubernetes. All of these are the different versions or different companies who use Docker. So for now, what we do, we are going to run an Docker known as Hello World. Okay, a container which has Hello World official image. Okay, so you can directly go to the Docker's page and then run this Hello World. Okay, just run. So I'll tell you in the go what is happening. So Docker, always to do anything with Docker, first thing should be Docker. Okay, then if you are running a container, give run. Okay, and then give the image name. Image name in our case is hello-world. Okay,
check locally, then it will pull.
yeah. So if I give enter, first thing what it did is it has gone inside. Where is it? Here. Okay, so I gave this image here, this one. This is what this is the command what I gave. Okay, then what it done, unable to find the image locally. So locally, because we have just created this image, this entire EC2 instance, we do not have any image of this name inside of our container. That is why it went first locally, checked if it is there. If it is not there, it went back to the Docker Hub. From Docker Hub, it has installed it so fast. Okay, so it has just pulled it from library.-this, and this you will get this is image ID basically, and then it is running this hello from Docker. This is what basically this hello world does. Okay, it doesn't do anything else. So now if I go to Docker PS, enter, nothing is working, nothing is running right now. Why? Because we are not running in, because this hello world is not a continuous running application. Okay, so this is now if I want to check the historical application which I have run, Docker PS -a, okay, or Docker PS -all, and all should be then /all. Okay, this way. So if you want to have shortcuts, so Docker PS -a is going to tell you that it had created a minute ago and exited also about 0 minutes ago. Okay, so and if you'll not give any name, so this is the name basically of Docker. Just make it little small. Okay, yeah, you will see this name also here. Okay, this name. So if you're not giving any name, by default it takes any name. It's not that there is some guy, Serene Allen, who has created this image. It takes by default from Docker Hub any name. Serene from one image, Allen from other image. So that is how they have put the logic in Docker. Okay. So now what we are going to do, is it visible? Okay, very small. Okay, now. Okay. So now what we are going to do, if I want to delete this image or this container, so now let's just go to Docker images. Earlier we were not able to find. Yeah, so because Docker run this command, what this command does, hello world, it is going to run a container based on an image known as hello world.
Okay.
So hello world is an image.
Okay.
So this is the hello world image. So what it does with the run command, it first gets the image and then runs the container based on that image.
Okay. Also there is a container running.
Now because this hello world container has been made in such a way that it should not run. It just gives output here only. This is what this container when it ran. This now you want to keep it there running always. So then give sleep. For some seconds you want to keep it running.
Now if you press PS, it will show.
Yeah. Now if you press PS only, then it will show. Okay. So for this, I don't know. This is not happening. For other containers, we'll see how we can keep them running. Okay. So for now, Docker PS, DOCKER PS. Right now, no image, no container process of that. This is a normal.
So there is something. A container got created and it got deleted automatically.
Yes. So now what happened, that a container was created. Okay. A container known as hello world was created. Okay. 3 times I ran it. Okay. Every time it just created a container, but every time it's not that. Every time it ran, other times it failed also. Okay, but then still it is going to show you the historical data, that what happened, what command you have given. Okay, so but it ran only 2 times. Okay, so for this Docker image. So this container ran based on this image. So the image ID is different than container ID. Keep that in mind. Image ID is different than a container ID. So the tags what we were talking about in the slides are these tags. So if you're not specifying any tag, it's by default going to take the latest one. Okay. So this image is just 1.85 kbs because it is just a file, a text file with just, it's not a Tomcat application. This image only has a file which has hello from Docker written into it. That is what this image does. Okay, this is nothing. Now we will create something which will last for us, and we will assign a port number also to it. Okay, that is what we are going to do now. Okay, Docker port mapping and Docker logs. Okay, so image I've already told you what it does. Okay, so let's now go to port mappings. Let's just go to port mappings and see how all of these are done. Okay, let's just see now. I want to run Tomcat image because Tomcat you're familiar, that's why I'm taking that example. You know how Tomcat works, what is the UI of Tomcat, okay, that you know. Now if I want to get the Tomcat image from Docker Hub, what I have to do is search for it. Okay, TOMCAT, Tomcat. So if you have something official, please choose that one only because that's going to be robust as well as all the documents are given. So go inside of it, you will see how many versions of Tomcat are available. 8, 8.5, 9, all of these versions are available right from the 7.0. Okay, who is maintaining this Tomcat image? Docker community. Okay, what are the supported architectures? Everything is given here. Okay, each and everything. What is a Tomcat? What does it do? All the definitions are given. Okay, so now in order to run a Tomcat image, this is going to be your command. Okay, there are certain changes in the command. If you want to run it this way also you'll be able to run it. Okay, otherwise what I will tell you is the easy command that you follow. Okay, so Slame, ROM, Alpine, all of these stuff. So what we're going to do is, let's just go here and see Docker. Okay, right now means what all things are running there. Docker ps -a, nothing is running, but these things are there. So let me just delete this Docker rm, okay, and give the container IDs.
So every time we ran hello, one container was created.
One container was created.
Why is that?
Even though the container did not open, because containers are going to be standalone instances, right? So every time you're running an image, it's going to create a different instance of that image. That's what the container is. Container is an instance of that image.
So if you give it as Docker run hello world space the IDE, that time only again initiate the one that got created, is it?
Once again, if you want to give the
ID, when I'm like Docker run hello world, instead of hello world, I'll give the ID. Okay. So the same thing will hit.
No, then the old one only will start.
Old one, right, correct.
Okay.
So this is the one that got deleted right now?
Yeah.
It will only be.
Yeah, so Docker ps -a, Docker ps -a, nothing is there now. Okay, no historical data also. Docker images, but there is one image. Let me just remove this image. Okay, Docker image, to remove it is image, then RMI. If you give RMI, it's not going to remove one or more images, and then give the image ID. Okay, at least one ID. Oh, now you see, I told you that, see, layers, how many have untagged? 2 layers were created for this. I told you that it works, image works in layers. So 1 layer, 2nd layer, 3rd layer, based on that it's going to first pull and then delete also if you want to delete. For now, what is my intention? My intention is to get the Tomcat application server up and running. Okay, for that run Docker run. Run is you are going to run a container. Okay, run is to run a container. Docker run, and after that let me just give in a nothing, don't give anything else, just give Tomcat or maybe a port. I need to give a port to Tomcat also, on which port it should run. Okay, give -p port. I am going to map port 8090 or maybe port 8080 to again port 8080. Why port 8080?
One is local and another one is in the containers.
Yeah, so containers port is 8080. Normally port 8080 is what the default port for Tomcat, right? That is how they have created the image. So I am going to now port same port to the local port. Okay, local port is, first one is the local port 8080 and the second one is the 8080, the container port. Okay, Now what I'm going to do is give it as a name also. If I want to give it as a name, okay, let's not give it as a name. Give Tomcat, okay, Tomcat colon latest, okay, give enter. You see what happened? It was not, first of all, it was trying to find it locally. It did not find anything locally because you have seen we have deleted everything. It was not there. So now in layers, it's going to pull the image. You see how fast it's happening in layers? That is what happens with the IDP also. Now it has downloaded it and now it is starting it. This is what happens in your console also, right? When you try to start the Tomcat with the CMD command, what do you see? I mean, this is what you see. These are the logs. At the end, you will see server startup in 5 star. I tell you that don't. If you shut this down, container will shut down. Your Tomcat normal application will shut down. Okay. So now that we have this, what we will do is grab the IP address of our machine which we have created, on which Docker is installed. Come back here, and then give what port?
8080.
Why 8080? Because I mapped it to 8080 only. Okay. So the Tomcat is up and running. So with the version 8.5. Okay, that is one thing. Now second thing is that I want to because now I cannot do anything else. If I इन्होंने latest tag किया है 8.5 के साथ. 9 is not that stable as of now. Okay, then if you want 9 also, we can have 9 directly. So now you see something is happening here, right? But if I type something, I will not be able to work. Because I opened, if I close normally, if I close this, what is going to happen? If I hit F5, Tomcat is done. It's khatam. So now how can I make sure that it runs and I do other work also simultaneously? In that is known as something known as detached mode. Running any application which has logs in a detached mode. Okay, let's do that. So instead of all you have to do is you have to add -d only. That's it you have to add. Okay, in different you have to add just -d.
-dp.
Okay, no, p is for port. P is for port. You can either give -d, -p, or if you want to combine the command, give -dp. Combining the command. Okay, so now it's not going to go again to the internet and then search. Why? Because same image was already there, and it will only give us the container ID. So this is a big container ID, and if you give Docker yes, you will see a small container ID which is going to be first 8 to 12 characters of the same. This is how you will identify a container uniquely. Now if I go back here and put F5 only, you will see Tomcat will be up and running once again. Now this is normal thing, this we can do anywhere. Now why do you need Docker? One thing is the installation happened very fast. Now why do we need Docker for? Now that there is an application which works only on 8.5 Tomcat, now you have the same app, you have another application which works on Tomcat 7, let's say, or maybe Tomcat 9. What will you do in that case?
We will bind it to a different port.
Okay, that's one. That is what we will do use on Docker. But in traditionally, what you would do?
Create an operating system.
One more container.
One more container? No, leave about containers. If you had to do it, what will you do? You will need one more system. Because Java, if it's Java 9, if it is Java 7, that means Tomcat 7, that means Java 7 you need. Okay, so for that you need to have one more system if you want to run simultaneous application. But now that is why Docker is coming in the picture. In order to avoid that thing, we will be able to do it on this itself. So I will just have same thing again. Only thing is that I will change the port. First port. I'll tell you that run Tomcat 7.0. Okay, 7.0 as a tag on port what port? 8090. Give enter, because it was not locally present. Now you see what is happening. It's going to pull it from the library.tomcat. Library.tomcat is the official Tomcat registry.
This container port.
First port is going to be your local port.
Okay.
Local port of your system, and then what that image is tagged to internally, that port you are going to tag with the same thing what he said, container port and the local port. So second one is your container port, first one is your local port. Okay, so what did we do? We have run a command, we forgot to put D. Okay, so let's just not worry about that. Let's first now open this and see if that 8090 has started or not. Okay, it should be there. So you will see now two Tomcats running with their own dependencies on a single system. Okay, that is why this Docker is getting. Now it's not just Tomcat running. There are n number of application servers, Nginx, your IS is on there. So you are all these Java and all servers. Or if you want to run, now this is Ubuntu. If I want to run CentOS on Ubuntu, how will I run CentOS as an operating system on Ubuntu?
You can't do it regularly.
Normally you cannot do. You have to either first disable one OS, then install next OS. So in that case, I can have the CentOS image. Okay. So now what I'm trying to make here is not only that. There is other point. Let me just first keep both of them running onto detached mode. Okay, both of them will be running. So now if I go to Docker PS, you will see two containers running. Okay, two containers running. Now if I go to Docker images, how many images we should see there?
Two.
Sure, only two?
Yeah.
Two images already there. So one image is Tomcat latest, which is 8.5. Other one is the Tomcat 7. Understood? So now we create containers based on the images. So this image is nothing but the Tomcat. It is the application. Okay?
So if someone asks us in interview what is an image, we say.
So now how you have seen this. So now if we are saying that it created a container. Container means a standalone system it created. How we can go inside of it now? If I want to see the first container or second container, how we can go inside of it? If, for example, I want to update or install or change Java version in some container, how will I do that? So in that case, there is a command known as docker exec -i -t, or else give it directly. Okay, it, and then give the container ID. Okay, in which container you want to go inside. For example, I want to go inside Tomcat 7 container. Okay, give the container ID. You see, this is container ID. This you will get using the Docker PS. Okay, give the container ID, not the image ID. You cannot go inside images. Okay, give paste, and then open a bin bash shell. Bin bash is what is normally open in your SSH when you SSH. So now you will see it changed from a local to the container ID. So now you can compare this container ID with this container ID. Understood what is happening? Now I am inside this. I am inside the container. If I go ls now I will see normally what we normally see in the while we install Tomcat image or Tomcat application, web apps, logs, lib, temp, conf. In conf, what is in conf? In configuration, you have got port settings. If I'm inside of it, now just go. You will see server. You will see Tomcat users. Okay. So cat. If I want to cat the Tomcat users XML, you will see everything there. This is what happens, right? This is what is there always. Okay. Now Vim is not there. I want to install Vim. What should I do? Because I'm inside the container. Inside one container, Tomcat 7 container. Let's just say first I'll just go apt get update. Always do update for any services first. Okay, it is going to update the latest images for you.
I already entered.
Now the update has been provided. So now I want to install Vim here. Okay, apt get install Vim. Okay, -y. Now this is going to get the Vim package from the internet and then install that for me. Okay, now it has installed something. It says there are some 4 newly installed applications are there. So it is unpacking. Okay, so now if I want to now Vim and open the Tomcat application, this URLs, now I will be able to easily open it with the Vim. Earlier it was saying that Vim, but then I'm in the Tomcat 7. I'm in Tomcat 7. Okay, now if I go back from Tomcat 7 with the command exit, I'll come back to what? The local instance first. Now I want to go into Tomcat latest one. Okay, latest image. Tomcat Docker PS is going to give me the latest one, container ID. Okay, now Docker exec, then -it, yes, container name. Okay, it has not copied properly. Okay, to copy it, just double click this and paste. Okay, should only copy id, take the command, copy this command basically, and then paste it here. Okay, then open what? Bin and bash. If you not give bin and bash, it is not going to open anything. So now you are inside of this second container. So this second container is what? Tomcat 8.5. So now if I go to cd conf folder here, we have got in ls, we have got the same Tomcat users and all. Now if I give vim Tomcat users, is it going to work? Why? How?
You're inside the container.
Okay, inside the container with the vim command.
Vim won't work. No.
Why Vim won't
we are
work?
not installed Vim. This is
Why
the same
Vim?
server.
Because this is separate container now.
Yeah.
What is the isolation for containers? That I have installed Vim on one container, it will only work on that container. This container doesn't even know that I am running on the same machine. So for this, it's not going to work. It will say that it's not fine. Now I have to come here individually, first update this container and then install the Vim. Okay, whatever I change in the Tomcat user file for Tomcat 7, that is not going to be reflected. That is what Docker is for. To isolate same applications so that it runs different applications. To isolate same applications so that it runs different application on the same host. Okay, apt-get vim install. Okay. So now if I give this command again, that vim, now we'll be able to open it easily. Understood what's the difference? Okay. Vim is an editor, just like Nano. Nano is an editor. Vim is also a graphical editor of VI. VI is again one more editor. In VI you will not find this colorful text. This is colorful text. In VI it will not be colorful. Okay. So now what my intention here is that I am inside I'm just in Tomcat 7. My intention is to go inside the manager apps to see what apps are already installed on it. Okay. So for that I need to give the username password. So let me just set this username password there for you. Okay. Otherwise by default there's going to be no access. Okay. So let's go back and just run docker ps. Docker ps is going to give us the inside the container basically. So give exit. Okay. So docker, and there is one more command known as docker inspect. Okay, first run docker ps.
Where is docker now? What docker? Where is?
So that command what you're talking about is where is
Docker.
I can only put docker here. Okay,
That will
do
show
you see?
obviously
That will show the docker.
installation.
Okay, installation. But now if I want to see where is Tomcat, where is Tomcat? Is it going to show that?
No, don't show.
Guru, it's not so because Tomcat is not on my local. On my local, I have not installed anything. On my local, I have installed Docker. That created the container. So that is the level of isolation I have here. So now on my local, I can have Docker 5 running also. But I can on my local, I can have only one Tomcat running simultaneously. But inside the Docker, I can have multiple Tomcats running. So right now, 2 instances of Tomcat are running. Okay. So now what I am going to do is get the docker ps. So we have got 2 images, okay, 1 and 2, two containers. In Tomcat 7, I'm going to add the username and password. Okay, Docker. What is the command? Docker
exe -id.
Okay.
ID.
After that,
ID.
container ID, or either give the name. How to give the name, custom name. Also, I'll show you. Okay.
Bin bash.
Bin bash. Okay. Now you are inside of it. So what we will do now?
Vim.
So let's just from here, if you already know the path, vim conf and then Tomcat users XML. Okay, so here I'm inside of it. What I'm going to do is add the users. Okay, add the users just above this. So what should be the user? Let's just copy that username password from our Tomcat file itself. Okay, so take this entire thing, copy, come back, okay, and paste. Okay, what we have done is just we came here, we just pasted same thing what we did last time. Okay, WQ. So now what should I do?
You didn't save. You gave exclamatory.
Okay, so okay. I gave exclamatory. What did I give? WQ and then exclamatory.
Override.
Override. Okay, that is override. Okay. So ठीक है. So now in order to for these changes to happen, what should I do?
Restart.
Restart what? The Tomcat or the container?
Tomcat.
If I restart Tomcat, what's going to happen to the container?
Nothing will happen.
Nothing will happen. Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay, let's try. So I'm inside the same container now. I have not come out. What is the command to restart the container?
Service.
So first, where is Tomcat? Okay. So service
Tomcat.
restart.
Yeah.
So I'm going to enter.
No.
So
Tomcat ID 7 or 8.
yeah, it is something, right? Maybe it's 7. We don't know. That's why I just wanted to check what is it. So in order to avoid this issue, let's just do one thing. Go inside the bin itself, cd bin, and restart it from there. Okay, ls. So you will see something known as a shutdown here. Okay, you want to shut it down and then start it again. Okay, so give shutdown, shut. Okay, shutdown.sh. So now what is going to happen? Is it going to shut down the Tomcat or the container? Only Tomcat. Okay, give enter. So what happened? Where are we? Where am I right now?
Local. So the container got shut down.
Where am I right now? Onto my local. Why? How am I on local? Because my IP address, private IP address is visible. So now I told you each and every image, whatever you create a container based on the image. If you now restart that container, it's going to restart the. I mean, if you're going to restart the Tomcat, it's going to restart the container itself. How come? Huh? How come? Yes, see. Because each and every container is the image basically, is the application basically. So now if you are restarting the application itself, that is going to restart the container itself. Okay, so you don't need to do this restarting inside, going in and this. You can directly restart the Docker. That is going to take effect for the container also. Okay, so now let's just go inside this container once, or maybe let's just see what happened now. Docker ps docker ps. Okay, only one is running now. I need to start that once again, the previous one. So what I have to do is go to Docker. If I already know the container ID, that is this one, right?
Yeah.
Container ID. So Docker start. Basically it should be container, then okay, yeah, it worked. Okay, Docker, then start and the container ID. Now if I come back to my browser, that was 5 on, 7 on, right? Yeah, 7 I've changed. So go to this, give Tomcat, enter inside of it. Easily understood what's happening. Now you people tell me, if I give manager app here, and this is Docker 8.5, if I click on it, is it going to work or not?
Obviously not.
You sure?
No.
I want Guru to answer this question. I have changed in this container. I'm inside of it now. Right now, if I want to, if now I'm in Tomcat 8.5.
Yeah.
Okay. If I click on Manager app, will it take me to the manager page of this Tomcat? Easily, right? How?
Because you have.
We have changed username. We have changed username, na? So it should take normally, right? We have changed username, password.
But we have done it in Tomcat 7.
7, okay. So we have not done it for Tomcat 8. That's why it will not work. Are you sure? So what is your answer now? Give one answer. You cannot be
No, it will not.
black and white both. You can either be black or you can either be
It
white.
will not get
Huh?
logic.
Why not? Give me a logical answer.
But we have user and
We have not given any user for Tomcat 8.5. That's why it's not going to help. Huh? You sure?
Both are actually it won't work.
This way, I want to go inside of this 8.5 container. Can you guide me going inside of it? Tell me what command should I give?
Docker ps.
Docker.
exec ID.
अच्छा
No,
Docker
that's
exec
the
ID.
no.
Do you know the instance ID उसका?
No, that's all ps.
इधर ही है ना?
DOS
In order to get the instance ID, what in Docker ID, what should we give? What is the command?
Yes.
Yes.
To get the instance ID or the container ID, what should be the command?
Yes.
PS. If I give docker ps minus a, what will it give me?
History of all the
History of all the containers ran and stopped. Okay. I just want only which are running right now. So from this, which one is the latest one? Which one is the
Bottom one.
8.5? This one? This one. Okay. Docker exec
Minus ID. Container ID.
and then ID. After that, enter.
Slash.
Bin bash, enter. Now I'm inside of this container. Okay, now I want to see that Tomcat user file. What is the command?
Tomcat conf space.
Where is it?
Vim conf slash Tomcat users.xml.
This thing. Okay. So here you see any user added here? No. So will that work now? If I add the user, will it work then?
Yeah.
Okay, let's add the users. Okay, let's add the users. Okay, paste. Users added. WQ exclamatory. Now either go outside of this Tomcat of this Docker, exit, and then restart this Docker. Docker restart.
Can you just only restart Tomcat service instead of the whole thing?
That's what we did. We restarted only Tomcat earlier. Then it shut down the Docker itself.
That bin bash.
Yes.
No, you went to the shutdown.
You are saying to restart that using that.
Only Tomcat service.
Yeah, I don't know the name of it. The Tomcat service.
But now here it's just Tomcat. Now can you try that?
Okay. So let's just go inside of it. Okay, Docker exact bin bash. Okay, I'm inside of it. Okay. So
Service
if I just
Tomcat.
give ps, nothing is running. What is the command? Service?
Tomcat.
8.5.
Restart.
No, when it installed this, we don't know what Tomcat with what service ID it has installed the Tomcat.
Oh.
I don't know how to get that. There is a way to get it.
Command,
Okay, there's a command to see what is this. So
Okay,
PS
no problem.
is not working here. Okay, so if you know exact service name, then you can do it using the exact
Got it.
service name. Okay, it should mostly be just say 8.5.
Lattice.
Huh? Yeah, so latest is the tag of the image, but we don't know what is the service for that. Okay,
It could be anything.
it could be anything. I don't know. It's Tomcat 8, Tomcat 8.5, or what they have given.
Okay.
To install that I don't know. Okay, so now even if you do it restart here, you will come out of the container anyways. Okay, so exit here and then give docker restart ID of that container. Colon aa gaya, just delete the colon. Okay, now restart it. If I go back to the 8.5 and add enter. Now Guru, tell me, if I click on manager app, will I see the manager? Huh?
No, it will ask for.
Okay, so if I click on manager app, what will happen, Guru? Batao, dabao.
It will give an prompt.
Okay,
to-
once I give the username password, then we'll be able to see manager app, right? Let's do that. It didn't ask me username password. Why?
Permissions.
Huh?
Permission.
I gave all the roles. No? I gave same for 7.7 and same for this. So know that, I'll just cut it short. Know that after 8 Tomcat, you have to change something in the managers file. Okay. After 8 Tomcat 8 up to Tomcat 7, 7.5, just changing this will show the manager. But now they have made it a little bit secure, because if you are using local host and this going there, then it will work. But if you are doing it using an IP from from a different system, then it will not show you.
Yeah.
Okay, if this is installed on your local system, this 8.5, and then you will give local host and then colon, then 8080 and then / manager, then it will show you. But if you are not using local host, then it is not going to show you if you are trying to do it using the internet. Okay, so in order to avoid or bypass that thing, what we have to do is go inside the container once again. No, go inside the container, and then change something in the web app. Okay, because this manager is already installed as a service. That installed as a service means it will be an application inside the web app. That application name is manager. Now go to manager. Okay, ls. So inside of it you have to go to meta-inf. Okay, cd meta-inf. Okay, this is specifically only for Tomcat 8 above 8. Okay, so now this context.xml, you'll see this you have to change. Okay, this context.xml, this I'll tell you what you have to change inside of this. You have to comment all of these things. Okay, so I comment, in order to comment in HTML. Okay, yes, so this you have to comment up to the context, up to this. Okay, so context you have to leave. Okay, either have the context, leave the context, because this first line should not be committed. Anti-resource locking false, privilege true. Okay, this you have to comment. Done with this, come back from here and restart the container once again. Okay, it's restarted. Now if you just hit refresh on this and hit manager, now you will see that Tomcat. You see, so this is specifically for about Tom. Why I showed you this is, if in interview they ask you after Tomcat 8 what things you need to change in order to log in via the internet to your Tomcat. So this is what you need to change. You have to comment in the context of the manager. Okay, this is what you need to comment. But now you need not to comment if you are using localhost instead of this. If it was installed on a local, okay, I will normally give localhost what you have given that day when you did the assignment. If I have to give this, then no issues, no need to change anything. But then if you are using, if it's not installed on your system, if it is installed somewhere else, then you have to give that. Understood what I'm trying to say? Okay. What is going to be your task? Your task is going to be to do the Jenkins pipeline, but deployment on the Docker server, Docker Tomcat server. That is going to be your task. Okay, so you have to send me that task along with this, and there is one more command known as docker inspect. Okay, so first take the IDs. So docker inspect inspect. Okay, then take any container ID, paste, docker inspect, paste, enter. You will see all the information of this container, all of the information, whatever is running inside the container, all the information. But if you specifically want, if you are looking for something, maybe an IP address or something, then grep it with the IP address. Okay, what is the grep? What does grep do? Grep specifically gives you the what you are looking for. So anywhere IP matches, it just only give you those details. Okay, so now see, this container has got the external IP address of 172.17.0.3. This is basically the internal one. Okay, this is what the IP address is for this container alone. Okay, so understood what is how Docker works and all. So in the same fashion, you can install other applications also. Go to Tomcat, go to Docker Hub, install other applications also using this. Okay, or do what I have done. That is one thing. Other thing is that if there are some other commands or something else, what you have to do, building of Docker steps and all, everything is basically given here. But anyways, next time when we'll meet for Ansible, that time I will show you what all of these are all about. Okay, I don't want to overwhelm you with all of this today. Okay, this I will give you later, all the remaining things. But for now, just know that this is how you want to run instances of Tomcat on a single machine. Okay, so that is it for this lecture. So next time we meet, we'll see other things also. Okay.